Everyone, it is Elle, and today I'm going to read about Chelsea Grimm. It's kind of an odd situation if you go and Google it. She's 32 years old, and she was going from San Diego all the way to Connecticut, and she was driving. She was driving a Escape, and she was going for a wedding. So, sounds like a nice situation. She's going with her family, or actually going to meet her family. She was driving alone, but as she was on her way, she changed her mind. And she told her mom, she called her. Her mom was already there, I guess, or heading there. And she told her, I don't think I'll be able to make it. I don't think I'm going to get there in time. She told her plans were she's going to camp in Arizona for a while. She lives in California, mind you. Okay, her parents were like, all right, she's not like a huge camper anymore, but she was at one time. Um, Kind of odd. She was sort of going to camp out of her car, it sounded like. So that was on September 24th that she left home. September 28th, she was seen in Arizona by a police officer. And if you look it up online, you can watch that video where they have her talking to the police officer. Now, kind of odd situation there, too, because the police officer got a call that there was suspicious activity at a cemetery. And when they pulled up, it was actually Chelsea Grimm in the cemetery, parked, and she was crying. And they walked up and asked her, is she okay? And she said she was just taking some photos in the cemetery and got moved. I think it was Lost Soldiers, she called it. And it made her emotional, and she was crying because of that. So the police officer was very nice, pointed her to a Love's down the street where she could stay the night if she didn't have a place to stay. Just kind of like, but you can't stay in the cemetery. I mean, he didn't come out and say that, but he was trying to help her move on her way and in a safe way. And then 2 days later, she was also seen by what's referred to as a wood chopper. So I'm guessing somebody who goes and cuts down trees. And he actually talked to her for a little while, and she was actually camping. October 4th, no one had seen her, and her parents filed a missing persons report. October 5th, her Ford Escape was found on a abandoned kind of in a Forest Service road, and it had 2 flat tires. Her wallet, credit cards, she had a pet that she was traveling with, which was a bearded dragon. All those things were gone. They were with her. The police say there is no foul play suspected, but she has not been heard of since October 5th. Today is October 16th. So it's a lot, right? People don't just disappear, or do they? Because we read about them all the time. So we're going to ask about her now. One thing I will say, she hasn't been gone for very long. And if you watch my channel, you understand that I don't like to put out there, even if I'm seeing in the cards some really bad things, I'm probably just going to say, this doesn't look great to me. I'm not going to say, this person looks deceased. I've got this card, this card, this card, this card. I only do that after it's been a while and the parents are coming either to me. Sometimes they come to me and ask me to read, and I say, do you want to know if that's what I see? Just know that may be what I see, and I let them choose. Or if parents or family members are coming through on TV and saying, at this point, we really think she is deceased, we want to put her to rest, we really want to give her a proper burial, that kind of thing. Sad that I say she so many times when I refer to these people, but many of the people that go missing are women, unfortunately, at the hands of men. Okay, so let's read about Chelsea Grimm and let's see what her situation is. We're just going to read since she was found crying. First of all, I just want to get a check in on her mental health. So, was she? There's a lot of scenarios that could have gone on, right? Maybe Chelsea had really wanted a wedding, or a relationship didn't work out on her end, and to go to another wedding was a painful endeavor, and she decided not to. Maybe she was just having some mental health issues where she felt like, I really need some time by myself, and this little time away camping will be great. Maybe it was none of the above. Maybe she was doing just fine and really looked at the clock and said, I am never going to make it in time. I'm not going to waste all that time going there if I'm not going to make it. And you know what? Maybe I feel like camping for a little while. I don't know. Let's see Chelsea Grimm's mental health. Tell us about that at the time that this happened, when she before she disappeared, when she disappeared around that time. All right, so Chelsea Grimm, mental health, around the time of her disappearance. Well, that's never a good card to start off with. 10 of Swords. I know what it's making me think right off bat. But remember how I said I'm not going to go into a whole lot if we haven't gotten to that point yet, because I want everybody to come home just as much as anybody else does, right? I want to give hope, guidance to finding someone, those kind of things. Some readings, it's hard. When we start off with a card like the Ten of Swords, it's very hard, especially for mental health. I mean, you guys can look at this card. This card is literally, if I'm going to describe it, it's somebody laying on the ground, bunch of swords in them, you know, and the person in this card is clearly not alive anymore. You couldn't be alive with all those swords in you. So mental health, swords are thoughts, right? And your swords can beat you down and stab you and hurt you just as much as somebody actually doing physical harm to your body. And in this case, I really feel like she was having a rough go of it mental health wise. So let's ask if she really did that photo shoot in the cemetery. Was that really why she was there, for a photo shoot? She was a aspiring photographer, or maybe she was a photographer. I know she took photos. So was she really there for this photo shoot? And that's true. She did go to make a photo shoot. That's my truth card. Yeah. Okay. So then some people are saying she got a ride from someone. Now, maybe she did, but you'd think she would have surfaced by now and just said, hey, I'm over here staying with this nice person I met, and I'm figuring out how to get my car out of that road, which the police probably already towed it. But, you know, you would think she would come forward and just communicate. Sometimes people just need some time alone. So let's ask her let's ask if she's with someone else. Is Chelsea with someone else right now? Another person? You know, somebody else kind of helped her out in the situation. Tell us about Chelsea Grimm being with another person right now. Chelsea Grimm, I just see, is so tied up in her thoughts. This woman is very alone. I don't see her being with another person in here. We've got a lot of, now we've got the Eight of Swords, we've got the Ten of Swords, and we've got the Ace of Swords. We've just got swords of thoughts, and your thoughts just getting the best of you, to the point that it's harmful, to the point that you feel like you can't move, to the point that you feel, you know, when I don't know if any of you have ever been really depressed or really frightened and really anxious, and you just feel like it's almost like fight or flight, or freeze, right? There is a third thing you can do. You can fight, you can flight, but you can freeze too. I feel like she froze, like she just kind of couldn't go further. That's what I'm getting. All right. So I'm just going to ask if she wants to be away from people right now, because that very well could be the case. Does she just want to be away from people? That would be a best case scenario right now. Chelsea, does she just want to be away from people right now? Tell me about Chelsea just wanting to be away from people right now. I do kind of feel like when she left, she needed to be alone. This person's alone, right? This is the Four of Cups. Someone's trying to help them. They're like, yeah, no, I just need to sit over here by this tree by myself for a while. So no, thank you for your offer. I just need to be alone for a while. So yeah, I do think she left to be alone. I do. What happened after that? Um, I guess I'm not going to go too deep into that. I feel mental health, though. I do feel mental health issues. So let's just ask what happened. Well, we're going to ask kind of where is she now? So we know that her car broke down, but I guess let me ask what happened after that. What happened after the car broke down? well, it didn't really break down. It got flat tires or something, or unless someone deliberately let the air out of the tires, which is also a possibility. What happened after um, she left her car? Well, this is a card of a lot of secrets, a lot of wanting to just kind of, again, I have this whole theme of I need to be alone, I need to be by myself, I need to have this introspection, I need to have this time to just kind of think. But I also feel she was very conflicted. I think there was a lot of conflict around her. Um, I really think that conflict more in this situation was internal rather than external. I feel like there was a lot of conflicting thoughts and ideas of who she wanted to be and what she was and where she was in life, and um, how she felt. This Chelsea, I'm going to ask what I'm getting. Was Chelsea like supposed to be taking medication and wasn't? Tell me about Chelsea and some medication here, because I'm getting like maybe Chelsea didn't take some medication. Tell me about Chelsea not taking her medication. Yeah, see, I think that had something to do with this, because now we have the tower, and if you're on medication, you're relying on it to keep your mental health, keep yourself healthy, and you don't take it, you have moments like this. You have breaks, and that is really what the cards are pointing me to, is a break, with all those swords, mental break. And we have this whole defending themselves too. So sometimes people can get almost paranoid thoughts, can become super defensive. There can be, or literally a situation could have arose where she had to defend herself. That's a possibility, in the physicality, because there's a conflict that happened too, and that could have possibly been outside with another person conflict. But I really feel like there was a lot of internal conflict that was guiding, leading, pushing, that she was struggling with. All right, so let me just ask where she is, being that we hope that she will come home, and I'm not going to ask too many questions about whether that's going to, I'm not going to go too much further on this at this point. So tell me about where Chelsea can be found. Chelsea Graham, where is she? Tell me about where Chelsea. Okay, so this is interesting. This is a man, and this is a movement. It does look like potentially there was a man that um, maybe she drove with. That's interesting. Because I thought we had asked about her getting a ride or going off with someone. It looked like she was very alone and her thoughts getting the best with her. But now I ask, where is she? And it's got like Mr. King of Wands, who is a very sexual king and does often have sexual thoughts. And the chariot of him potentially moving her. So I'm going to ask that again. I'm just going to ask more information on that. Please give me more information on this situation with potentially, well, let's ask, is she with a man right now? Is there a man that, well, I don't know if I should say right now. Maybe was there a man? He might not be with her right now, but was there a man involved in this? I do feel like there was. It's two people. Um, she may have even met up with someone. Because those are two people that are actually like getting along in that instance. I'm not saying these two did, but I'm just saying that it does appear like there was a kind of a collaboration of maybe somebody was with her for a little bit. Let me just ask, where is she now at this moment? Where is Chelsea Grimm at this moment? Because you would think if she was with someone else, she would still come forward and just say, hey, I'm taking a little break from life. Where's Chelsea Grimm at this moment? Tell us about Chelsea Grimm at this moment. Well, that's the Judgment card. That's not one of my favorite cards to see when I ask about where somebody is. I'm gonna leave that, not go further on it until we hear more about her, or we get signals that people are wanting to learn maybe a little bit more, dive deeper into this situation. I do see the potential for male involvement here, though. A lot of emotional issues up top here going on as well. So I'm going to leave Chelsea Grimm at that. We'll read a little bit more if, like I said, if people come forward and say, we just want to know, we just want to find her, we're ready for anything at this point, then I'll read further and see if the cards want to give me an exact location. All right, take care. Bye-bye.